language. Based on my own research, I found out that Dumagat speaks two languages, the Bulas and Kabulawan. Given that I know someone who belongs to the Dumagat tribe, I had the chance to interview her, since she is from Dumagat tribe, and this is the example of their languages.
Kamom din katid dia ka masulot dia kayo, ako dula sulod. Dito ko katid di pala mag-aalagay na to pati di no kalabungan. Daya lalok tatli numiwanag ipalebot di, talinaway dito pala anghim.
Magandang buhay everyone! I'm Jovel O. Pascual and today I'm going to show you the Dumagat tribe's folk beliefs. First, Dumagat are animist and their belief is differ from person to person. Next, the Abra Agta River. Bagutalayan as their supreme being and creator. Bagutalayan is also the most powerful god, sometimes referred as Apo Dios. Bagutalayan created other deities, and the most big of them all is Kadaklan, meaning the biggest, who is hailed as Ariti Salit or King of Lightning. Kadaklan may visit humans in their dreams, accompanied by a dog named Kimat, which means thunder and lightning. And for the last folk belief, the Agta of Quezon and Aurora believe in supreme being and creator of all things whom they call Makidapet or Makadegyapet, the one who has the right over of all things. The reason why the Agta has a great respect for their nature is because of their belief that Makidapet is in all creation in animals, plants, rocks, rivers, and seas. The Agta worship Makidapet in the sacred places located in their ancestral domain. Example of the sacred grounds are Tulaog and Durangawan in Ilaya at the west side of Agus River in Quezon Province. However, illegal loggers and treasure hunters intruded and attempted to plunder the sacred places. Now, the sacred places are being protected under the proclamation of Certificate of Ancestral Domain. Hello everyone, so this is the custom of Dumagat people, courtship, kasal bundok, birth and baptism. Dumagat. The Dumagat and Alta are strongly connected to the environment they live in. All of their traditional practice and daily ways of life, such as tradition hunting, tradition fishing, and farming, are connected to the Subkal and Isui, whom they inherit from their ancestors. They value all of the resources found in their ancestral land because they believe that it came from the supreme being they called Mahidepat, and that they should protect and preserve it as a legacy of the next generation.
Archipelago, important work is taking place. It is the work of teachers and students coming together to preserve tradition, blending the ancient knowledge with engaging teaching methods and life for a younger audience, the ways of the past, or simply bringing communities together to judge what is valuable, what must be taken on the journey forward. In this season of Dayaw, we visit the schools of living traditions to listen to the voices of those who have made it their mission to preserve cultures, to see in the eyes of the young a world that they will gladly inherit, preserve, and pass on. What it means to be Sisidlan, a bearer of culture, a school for living traditions. This season, Dayaw returns to a theme that we have explored once before. Sisidlan means vessel or container. but we have used to express our admiration for people and organizations that have devoted time and effort to containing, in their very beings, the important work of heritage conservation. This season, we take you to the far-flung areas into makeshift huts where this important work takes place. You will meet the cultural workers who interact with the indigenous communities, the elders who are the enduring vessels of traditional knowledge, the young members of the community for whom this precious knowledge is both a joy and a burden to bear. In these schools of living traditions, the past is a priority of the present, challenge of the future.
It started in 1995 when I was the head of the subcommission for cultural communities and traditional arts. We thought that one of the best ways to preserve, to protect, to conserve our traditional heritage is by putting up some kind of a school, which we call School for Living Tradition, teaching the ways of the elders, their belief systems, their customs, and their traditions, their arts, and their rituals. And from then on, we we identified more places where there were worthy living traditions. Now we have 21 existing and very viable schools for living traditions all over the country. These are very alive schools for living traditions.
The province of Bulacan is more familiar to many of us as a seat of Tagalog culture. But in the foothills of the Sierra Madre Mountain live the Dumagat, an indigenous people whose traditional ways are closer to the animist, forest-dwelling Aita or Agta. Dumagat has traditionally occupied the jungles and forests of Norzagaray, San Jose del Monte, and Doña Remedios Trinidad. Traditionally, a nomadic forest people, the Dumagat face the same problems that many of our indigenous groups must face: poverty, modernization, the need for modern education, and yet, much of their knowledge of the forest and the rivers has sustained them and enabled them to survive. From the language of leaves,
Sa ngayon po, may mga tukoy po tayong tatlo na cultural master.
and the ability to cook without using earthenware or aluminum pots and
At titingnan din ninyo yung kalasi nung pagkulo nung niluluto natin bago nyo itutuwad yung buho. At
and yet the Dumagat keep on. It is truly their culture and their ties to the environment that keep the holy defiantly Dumagat.
sa totoo lang po, yung SLP na to, bago po sa mga magulang. Kaya nga po napag-uusap-usapan, tinutupang ko sa usapin yung mga kabataan.
Good day everyone, I'm Camille Anbalino and this is the norms of Dumagat. Menstruation marks that begins of a girl's adolescence. When you knew that she already adolescent, she starts wearing indigenous jewelry and avoid mingling with the opposite sex. They are also restricted to get out from home during the night to avoid early marriage. They are no longer allowed to sleep with their father or brother. This time, they are already obliged to help their mother to do household chores. Dumagat believes that they are spiritual connected to nature and land. And also, Dumagat believes that they must respect land as mere commodity and not a source for survival. Dumagat. The music of Dumagat, the imaset, ang baro kong sira, the saludsod, gipulak, and bedo kong ladot. Imaset is another product of this generation's struggle to save a new Sierra Madre River and forest. Ang baro kong sira, made by the Agta people about their live in Sierra Madre. Saludsod is an extemporaneous song performed during joyous occasion. Gipulak, awit sa paghapay for people who are weary from work, sick, comfort, and relaxation song. Bedo Kong Ladot, a song about indigenous people struggle for land and justice.
Mabibigyan man yung bata eh. Kahit bata. Kasi hindi namin ginana.
Sabi niyo,
Ako yung nagkakanta dito ng kantang Dumagat, kantang Tagalog. Yung nakasaysayan nito kung paano siya naging baryo nitong lugar na ito, alam ko.
Yung lugar ng naming mga kautubo na hati-hati na ng aming mga ninuno nung araw, dito ako napasama sa Takwala ng Marikina Watershed. Ay pinagbabawal, hindi na kami pwedeng magpunta rin. Ng sundalo na ito ay maging baryo, bumutakot pa ang tao sa uyungan nagsitakbo, hinihila ng sasakyan ang haligi ng kanana, ang bahay sa malinis na hangarin ng maliit. Kahit siya ay asuntuhan, ngunit ngayon ay tagutunay. Kaming maliliit na mayang mga Dumagat dito sa iba't ibang sulok ng kabundukan ng Sierra Madre. Kaya nung ganon, dinalan lang kami sa kulungan na ikulong kami. Habang kami nakakulong, ginawa ko yung kanta ngayon. Ay kako, kung mawala man ako, Sabado at Linggo, 2 araw lang ang aming trabaho dito.
Maraming pasalamat dito sa kaulog na ito na resort ni Sir Maubang. Kami ay libre sa gamot at libre pa rin sa doktor. May doktor
Meron
kami
kaming ambulansya dyan.
ambulansya dito.
365 skills.
imaset. Mahigit 4 na dekada ang naging paglaban sa pagtutol at pagsang-ayon dito dahil sa mga pangako ng kompensasyon sa mga maapektuhan ng pagtatayo ng dam. Bagamat mariin pa rin tumututol dahil kalalakihan sa proyektong ito na alam nilang makasisira sa kayanan ng mga katutubo na maaring maging epekto kapag naitayo ang dam. Bilang isang katutubong leader, ang siya rin nagmulat sa kanyang asawang may alinlangan si Meling sa pakikilahok sa mga usapin at isyu sa komunidad dahil siya ay isang babae. Sa kanyang isip, ang babae ay para lamang sa pangangalaga sa tahanan at hindi dapat makisama sa mga usaping may komunidad. Bagamat may ganoong alinlangan si Meling, mariin pa rin siyang nakikinig sa paliwanag ng kanyang asawa at nais din niyang ipaglaban ang kanilang karapatan sa lupang ninuno at sa kanilang tahanan. Naisip ni Meling na maganda ring maibahagi sa mga kapwa niya kababaihan ang kahalagahan ng pagsama nilang mga kababaihan sa pagtutol sa pagtatayo ng nampuhalang dam. Nabuti niyang maging laman ito ng kanilang mga usapan. Alam ba ninyong ang magiging epekto sa atin kapag naitayo ang dam? Sa habang sila'y nagtatalakayan. Meling, hayaan mo nang usapin yan sa mga kalalakihan. Di na natin dapat pag-usapan pang mga yan. Dapat ay manatili lang tayo sa ating mga tahanan at pangalagaan ng pamilya. Yan ang trabaho natin. Pag-aalangan ng isang babaeng dumagat, ating manatili sa ating mga tahanan. Kaya kailangan natin tutulan ng dam. Dahil kung hindi tayo makikitol, tiyak mapapalayas tayo sa ating mga tahanan. Mahinahong paliwanag ni Meling. Tama ka! Tahanan natin ang kabundukan at kung maitayo ang dam, masisira ito. Mawawala ang ating mga rin nating napabayaan ng ating mga pamilya. Dagdag naman ng isa pa. Mula sa isang walang imik at kiming babaeng katutubo, simpleng may bahay at ulirang ina, si Melia hubog ng panahon at sirkumstansya na maging isang matapang pa rin sa yaman ng katutubong kaalaman, sistema at praktika. Isang tunay na imaset. Ang lalong nagpatibay sa loob ni kapit ni Kakano, isa sa mga naging unang leader at aktibong nakikipagdialogo sa mga opisyales at ahensya ng pamahalaan ng mga katutubo. Mula na ipagbawal ang pagtatanim ng palay nila sa kanilang sakahan, pilit na pinagkasya ni Kakano ang kakarang na nakukuha mula sa pagbebenta ng uling, gabi at kamot para buhat taong 2001 habang namimili pa ng pagkain para sa kalahuban sa pagkunita sa pandaigdigang araw ng karapatang pantao, pinaulanan ng bala si Kakano. Pinaratangan siyang isang mataas na pinuno ng New People's Army na mga elemento ng Task Force Panther na Infantry Division ng Philippine Army sa pamumuno ni Colonel Tolentino. Sa halip na panghinaan sila ng loob sa pagkawala ng kanilang pinunong si Kakano, kakaisa upang ipaglaban ang kanilang lupang ninuno. Alam natin
Next is the literature of Dumagat. Yang Nang, Talabin of Tao of Cagayan, their epic poetry. Next is Ampik, one of the legends and stories about forests, animals that teach life lessons. Next is Pamana ni Bobong Laki kay Bobo Agupad, story by Ernesto Conchada, an Agta elder. It's a poetry or poem about the loss of his birthright. Tale of Mandiripan. It reflects the Agta worldview in coping an unfortunate situation brought about the grave economic and social changes that threaten their foraging existence. The last, May Bahag, a story about the name and origin of a place. A place called May Bahag got its name because long ago, a young Agta killed a wild pig on the same spot where he left his linen cloth smeared with pig's blood.
Hello everyone, my name is Rika May de Venecia Imperio. And now, I will show you how Dumagat people perform their cultural dance. The first one is on photo.
Onpotok na yan na din, ni makijaba. Onpotok na yan na din, ni makijaba. Onpotok na yan na din, ni makijaba.
That is on photok dance, a Dumagat song on rebellion and activism against the abuse of their people's rights and land. Here are some Dumagat cultural dances. Puray.
Ay kulang sa
dance called Puray, performed by men and women dressed in traditional costumes. Ewes and Adu is imitating the movement of a monkey called Ewes and Adu. Nagtalip or magtalip is a dance performed by Agta men during wedding. Mangayaw, a head hunting dance with shield and spear.
Hello once again, I'm excited to show you the other forms of the Dumagat tribe. Please join me again and let's explore all the other forms of Dumagat tribe. The Dumagat method of teeth mutilation is to sew through the top sick incisors and canines with the file so that they are flat and even with the gums and usually to keep them dyed black for a few years afterwards. The operation is done in late puberty for aesthetic reasons and is purely voluntary. There is no religious or magical ceremony attached to the custom. Between 1965 and 1957, the operation was performed on approximately 26% of the teenage population. The Agta make watertight basket using sealant such as clay to protect its content. From coconut shells, they make spoons, that are fastened to long bamboo handles carved with various aesthetic design so that the user may have a better grip of the handles. The Palanan Agta have several containers important for their daily chores. The Galalan is a container for plant products made from the leaves of sabunatan. The Pout is container for rice and corn. The Ulang is the container for fish, shells, and eels. For storing clothes and personal paraphernalia, they use the sukluban. The Cagayan Agta carries along an abyat or bamboo tube, the usual size of which is 3 to 12 inches long, used for drinking and for storing honey, tree resin, or rice seeds. Kadlet tattooing. Tattoos, a position symbol which manpower respect and which pair sex admire, are given to warrior as a reward. Women agta handmade bracelets. Women show off handmade bracelet from local plant called beklo. Men enhance their appearance by wearing the biskal, an ornament from rattan for accessories purposes. The art of wood carving, as a potential alternatives means of livelihood.
I'm Vince Alexander D. Silapay of PA 1A, and here's the ways of living of the Dumagat tribe. With a total size of slightly over 524.65 kilometers squared, the Subkal and Isui, ICCA, also known as the Sacred Grounds of Ancestral Domain, is a protected area in the Philippines that is also a piece of the Sierra Madre mountain range. The indigenous communities of Dumagat and Agta, which are made up of these different communities, barangays of Liteki, Rial, Ibalo, Dibut, Dikapinisan, and Dimanaya. In total, 2,410 people control the ICCA, which is mostly composed of tropical, subtropical broadleaf forests. The Dumagat and Agta have a close relationship with their surroundings. The Subkal and Isui that they inherit from their ancestors are the source of all of their customary customs and everyday ways of life, including traditional farming, traditional fishing, and traditional hunting. They value every resource found on their ancestral land because they think it was provided by the supreme being named Makidepa, and they feel obligated to conserve and preserve it for future generations.
Social system of Dumagat people. The pattern of movement of the Kasiguran Agta are governed by the cycles of nature. For example, they move habitation near trees that bear fruit, where the birds that they hunt congregate and where pollen fruits attract wild birds and deers. During hot months, they move to coastal areas to gather shellfish. During typhoon season, they move to higher ground into the forest. A nuclear family rarely thrives alone and is composed of parents, young children, and maybe a grandparents. Children live separately when they from their own families. A band of family, also called Bertan, from a group of Liantos grouped like a small community moving to another area is decided by the whole band. With the advice of elders, a family does not move alone but with the rest of the band.